Good morning, this is Andreas from Hyperspace Connection. Today is Sunday, January 12th, 2020. I'm going to have a short video here. I want to address a few comments in regard to my video, the New Earth and the Event Phenomenon a few weeks ago. And if you're interested to listen what they had to say and my comments to it, watch the video. Okay, the video, the New Earth and the Event Phenomenon, got a lot of comments and a lot of good comments. And there are a few that I would like to address, or at least bring them together, or those ideas. I just got another comment today, and that actually triggered the idea to just talk about it a little bit. So I'm going to start with the last comment. And I have my computer here in front of me. I'm going to read that comment. This person said, I've tried to confront QHHT practitioners about this very issue of bias and other issues that logic dictates needs to be addressed. It just falls on deaf ears or I get absurd excuses. Lack of logic and the application of scientific method appears to be an anathema to those kinds of people who embrace QHHT. It points to the point what we think is actually the problem. So maybe hear my answer to it. I'm going to read it. So, thanks for your comment. QHHT has two sides to it. Dolores developed a beautiful method to dive into the subconscious and unconscious, what we think is the higher self, to help the person resolve personal issues. For many clients, is this a good way to do it? Even so, there are many limitations to it, as already discussed in other videos. What I mean, QHHT is a method that has beautiful parts to it, but has its limitations. The other part involves the more esoteric part where practitioners with their clients gather information like the event and the New Earth information and other non-verifiable information that is brought forward. Even if there's some truth to it, it unfortunately became distorted and more a repeated storytelling. The problem with bias is prevalent and seems not to be addressed in the QHHT community. Well, we did it. We should not throw the baby out with the bathwater. What I mean by that, as the baby is the QHHT method and the bathwater the practitioners and those that teach it. Baby can grow if nourished and cleaned regularly. And as far as I can see, baby didn't grow much in the last years. The problem with non-verifiable information is the feedback. Like in remote viewing, you have feedback-based and esoteric targets. As with the work in hypnosis and as well what Heidi and I do, I think this is let's say a problem. As soon as we don't have any feedback, if it's from a client or what we were looking for, that verifies that we were in some fashion, some sort accurate, it's the information practically becomes worthless. So as soon as you have an esoteric target, like it's called in the remote viewing as well, it means that you will not have any feedback. So whatever you got in information needs to be processed by yourself, and you're more following like a gut feeling and with some ideas of processing the information that maybe points to some accuracy, but it still stays into the realm of not tangible information. And it will stay that way as long as we don't have any feedback in any sort that gives us, like he said, in practically a scientific method, it's just information and whatever we want to do with it. And we will decide if that information, if we want to believe in that information or not. To believe in information is everybody's right. But I don't think it's enough. We should know things. Knowing comes from experience, But as again, experience can be very subjective. So we will always turn around in that mouse wheel of information that is either verifiable, so we get feedback, or non-verifiable information. So thank you for the input here, for the comment. It was from a channel called Backcore or Backcore. I do not know exactly how to spell that, so sorry about that. So we have another commentator here, Marshlight21. This person wrote, I have been concerned about client bias due to prior knowledge as well. What about going around and finding random people whom this would be new to, no prior knowledge? Maybe obtaining sessions from these types of individuals would allow no bias, along with possible validation through possible repeats of the same info from different clients of different lands. However, still need to watch out for lying clients and those trying to discredit. I think that goes into the same direction. The thinking there is the same. There are people out there that commented on that video that are actually aware of that problem and form their own thinking and wording in their comments. So very much appreciated. My answer was very short there as well. This is of course a good idea, but I think very challenging to perform. Thanks for your input. The problem is that if we want to do that, imagining how many people we need to, if you do it in a scientific method, it would involve a lot of people, time, and as we are still in this 3D world, money. So who's going to really put some money down to do such a research? So the idea is wonderful, but as I could see right now, practically not doable, not in the way that we think scientific methods are applied to, but would go in this direction to actually do the right job. Well, here's a comment. I'm just going to read that one because it's a nice comment and you can make your own mind up. There is one. It's called The New Earth. The channel is called The New Earth. So thank you for your input here. This person writes, I will give you a different perspective. 2011. I was contacted by interdimensional beings. They informed me of the ascension process, the event, and why I incarnated on Earth. I sat on this information for some time, mostly skeptical. 2012 and 13. I discovered Dolores and both my experiences and what they told me was confirmed. From that point, I dedicated myself to the light energy worker role. Nice. It has been almost an entire decade, and in that time I have seen many dates come and go. There we go. The ETs told me themselves it would happen within 2 to 4 years. It failed. Then unnamed practitioner 1 failed, unnamed practitioner 2 failed, 3 failed, unnamed practitioner 4 awaiting. So these are the dates they gave and never something happened in that way. Then he or she writes, yes, it will happen. Yes, we are getting closer, but I don't believe the timing can be predicted. I agree on that. The beings giving this information are across a multidimensional gate barrier bandwidth, and this space-time does not exist. There are also multiple timelines, and your own frequency is dictating where you are located in the galaxy experience dimension. They can assess light quotients of Earth populace and various energetic parameters. Wow, that's deep. They can tell it's getting close and they can see the transition point. We are living in a physical linear matrix. I don't believe concepts of time can be accurately given in this circumstance. Only that we are close and getting closer. And this person writes, I truly hope it happens in 2020 and I will do all I can to assist it in happening. This place is insane. Lol. Thank you for the comment. And I think what the person points out is what not should be done. We should not give dates into any predictions, because if they fail, and often they do because of various reasons, then either the person or the method that has been used becomes irrelevant. That shouldn't be happening. Well, this person here, and a person called Jennifer Sagar, thank you very much for your input and your question, and I'm going to just read my answer there. It's about discernment. Hi, very good points. I'm a new practitioner and have been wondering about exactly all this. You mentioned discernment and I agree, but how do you propose we discern what is coming from a high frequency and what is not? Exactly. That's exactly. Just to ask yourself this question is already the first step of growing and to become more discernible. It's actually already an important step. So my answer that I gave to that about 3 weeks ago. The more you learn about different modalities, the human psyche, the minds, and the true nature of everything that alone is challenging and it seems never ending, the closer you get to more profound discernment. Then you need to study our history regarding religions, secret societies, and the dark side of things. You need to acknowledge that we as humans have tremendous power, but are as well very vulnerable. And this vulnerability is underestimated. Beside all that and more, the personal work within you is as important as all the accumulated knowledge, beliefs, and understandings. It takes years of daily practice and discipline. Then you need to learn how to address the different minds of a person, the higher self, earthbound human and non-human spirits, and non-human entities with different agendas. You need to learn how to deal with dark energies and entities, not to underestimate the power of those entities, and more. At the end, you need a never growing and expanding critical but open mind for the unexpected and the assumed impossible. Hope that helps. About discernment, and you could probably go further what we should learn. It's about learning and applying knowledge. So how do we work in, put that in a short manner? Gaining knowledge is about learning things. We need our 5 or 6 senses to learn things, gain knowledge. But knowledge only gets useful if we apply the knowledge. Also, we need to apply it with our behavior. We need to apply it on a mental, emotional, and physical level. Then knowledge becomes somehow wisdom. And that can't be done by just watching a few videos or reading a book or two and then you think you know things. Knowing itself is not enough. It's like this highly intelligent person that has a tremendous brain, okay? IQ 120, 150, just an amazing brain, but has no social and emotional intelligence. So how does it help? I think there are many parts to it, and as a practitioner in this field where we're working and others, if it's QHHT or introspective hypnosis and many other modalities I'm not going to talk about right now, if you really want to do a good job, you need to think about what you're doing. You need to look at everything you do, how you think, what you're doing. You have to always ask yourself, can I do it better? Is it really my mind? Is it my ego? Is it my higher self? Who is talking to me? Etc. And that's extremely important. and then discern the information that comes in and put it back out there. So for other people can as well address it, think about it, digest it, and use it in some form. And to round that up, that's what Heidi and I really are trying to do as good as we can, to be honest to ourselves, to think about and discern the information that comes through, and then share it with you. Comment on it and let us think about all those things and share your opinions and thoughts. It's extremely helpful for many others. So it's not just for us, it's for everybody out there. And I think that's it for today. We wish you a wonderful Sunday and see you soon.